Hey guys, this is HTOMario, and I'm going to be showing you another Tearing as Protoss, and gonna skip through the opening really fast. The next few turn against Protoss, I believe, are going to be some experimentation with nukes, and I kind of wanted to share my thought on this, and what I do and how I get there, and some more things to scout. So I faced like 5 Protoss in a row, hoping one of them would be like Blink Stalker, but none of them really turned out to be. I do have a good one where it's in the late game, but so in this game, standard, we're going to do everything pretty much the same. Supply depots at the front, 2 on each side, barracks, gas, and we're going to be going for a factory or a reaper. And in this specific game, we get in the last cast we got the reaper, then the marine. In this one, we get the marine, then the reaper. No specific reason. I just forgot I was going to get the Reaper, so I got it afterwards. Through my expansion on the low ground, tried to harass him with a bunker a little bit, and got my reactor in factory. So everything seems kind of standard. Sometimes I get my factory before the reactor, and this allows me to really produce out more like Widow Mines and Hellions if needed be. In this case, this opening allows me to, the Widow Mines help me defend Stargate play, and then the reactor for the Marines help me defend Gateway play. And this is because you can put the Marines in bunkers, and once the Widow Mines fire, they're kind of crap, so for 45 seconds. So I'm thinking, this is kind of a one-player map, lots of cheese on this map. I'm going to throw down 3 bunkers at the front, go into a starport, produce a Widow Mine just in case. A little bit of harass with the Reaper. I want to make sure he gets a mothership core. I want to make sure he plays kind of safe. So I also get an engineering bay pretty early. Just kind of messing around with the timings, because I'm going to be moving out with these Widow Mines soon in drop. So I'm going to need something to defend my mineral lines just in case there's a Stargate. I haven't seen too much of his base, and I do see a Phoenix and it's hurt, so I scan him just to make sure it's a hallucination. And back at his base, I do see that it is. He's getting his observer out and everything, so I only get 1 missile turret, the one that's building. I'm going to need one in that position anyway later in the game. And I go up to 2 factories, and then I get an armory. So this is a little bit of a change. Normally I go up to 3 factories, and then an armory, or 1 factory, then an armory. And the reason for this change is because with this specific composition, or with this specific way this works, it allows me to get a faster third. It also allows me to get a Raven, and pretty fast. The Raven and Siege Tank and Hellions. The Siege Tank helped me defend against Gateway, the Hellions helped me do some harass, and then the Raven helps me spot against like Dark Templar or something. I come in here for a drop, and he moves out pretty fast, but I do kill like 4 workers. And he did have an observer there, so it's dying pretty fast. It got shut down pretty hard, but this kind of closed up the worker supply. I have like 9 killed. I think I had 2 killed before there, so I got like 7 killed total or something like that. So yeah, I'm going for a second Raven, I believe. I believe this is a game where I do that. I really like having double Raven. I like harassing mineralized with them. And I'm also getting drilling claws, I'm thinking like maybe I want to do mine drops. I saw a lot of gateway units, so Widow Mines are pretty good against gateway units. I do think I should have gotten the transformation servos instead. I'm kind of leaning away a little bit towards Widow Mines from the Terran against Protoss matchup. Don't get me wrong, I like them a lot. I think they're very useful, but I think in most cases out of not, I'm going to want Hellbats over Widow Mines. So I'm producing Hellbats, and I'm producing a medevac, and I'm thinking maybe I could do some damage with this, some drops, and I need to get my 3rd base up, so I place a missile turret in between over there, just kind of spot it out a little bit, and work my way up to my 3 factories. So I'm going really heavy on the Battle Hellion because I saw a lot of gateway units. Battle Hellions are pretty good against gateway units, backed up with siege tanks and medevacs. And I'm using also quite a bit of Hellions for dropping, which means I need to replace them faster, and then I can use the gas on like medevacs or upgrades or Ravens or quite a few things. I throw down a 4th relatively fast. This is because I'm thinking, I'm going to take my 3rd, I'm going to turtle up pretty heavy. This map is pretty good for Mech to turtle, and then I'm gonna have a fourth command center, so I'm playing kind of greedy because of the map. This won't work as well on other maps. I'm also getting 2 more factories because I'm spending a lot of money on Hellbats. I have a lot of gas left over than normal, so I'm going to be able to get more factories sooner, and then with these extra orbitals I'm going to have even more money, so I can afford a lot more units. And with my +2 attack on the way, I'm going to drop a second armory. If I don't get second armory right away, I get it so I can get my 2 attack, 1 armor, and then another Raven, because, you know, I still have a lot of gas, and the Ravens are really good against, like, stalkers and air transitions. You know, the Hunter Seeker missile is pretty good. I'm getting my drops into position, and I see him attack right above that base, so I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to siege up. And give me just a second here. Sorry about that. So I'm going to siege up, and I'm going to send in my drops kind of close to the same time. Drop my add-ons, and I actually forgot to send my other drop in at the same time, so that's kind of not so great on my part, and I'm not really paying attention to my drop. I could have probably gotten more kills. So now I send this drop in, and I'm still producing a lot of Hellbats. So these are, I'm just kind of like throwing them away, exchanging Hellbats for workers, trying to keep them low on the worker count, which means you can get less bases, which means less gas in the late game. So I did get quite a bit of workers here on the retreat. He's not quite paying attention, and he is down to like 39 workers to 65. So here I have a considerable lead with these Hellbat drops. My base is established around the same time as his. I'm producing a lot of siege tanks now as well with another Raven, because I'm on 6 gas. I have a lot of gas. I'm throwing down another starport in case he tries to go like an air tech, Void Ray. 3 supply depots at a time and another factory. So I'm going up to 7 factories this game and 2 starport. The reason why is because the rule is for every gas you can have a tech building, so like a factory or a starport. And I know that I'm getting my 4th base, so I'm going to have 8 gas. So I'm only overproducing on 1, and this is because one of them isn't always going to be in use, and I can make another factory produce mineral only instead of gas if need be. So I can afford it as long as I change what I'm making and depending on what I scout. And this makes it so that, you know, I'm more prepared against like tech switches, so that's why I do that. I also produce a Viking, just in case. I want a low Viking count to snipe, let's say, like observers, to snipe the mothership core, detectors, and just void rays to help against that tempest, a small amount of tempest in case I scout, or in case I scout a few. I already have a little bit of a count, so I'm not hard countered. This is another reason why I'm building Void Rays, is because I already have a lot of siege tanks, and Void Rays are pretty good against, Thors are pretty good against air tech, so, it's kind of like half and half. I get a little bit of support and a few Vikings, and then if I notice like a tech change for air, I'm not completely off guard, and I can defend with a little bit of micro and positioning. So producing a lot of Thors, and I have my 4th base up. My turret ring is kind of late, but I didn't think about any War Prism harass was going to come anytime sooner than this, and he's trying to attack up top to my 4th. I did make it a planetary, and I have building armor on the way, so when I noticed his retreat, I decided to pull back in my main. It's a lot of zealots, and I would rather be behind a wall to engage that than not. Even though I do have more than him right now, I don't feel quite ready to move out yet. I have a lot of supply on these Thors that are coming out. I'm producing 3 of them, and I don't know if he's got anything more hidden behind here. I put up missile turret at the front of my ramp in case he tries to go Dark Templar. In the late game, I can see him coming up sooner than all of a sudden they're in my base. And if I have reinforcements there, they just die. I also get Raven Energy. My next upgrades for Mech, +1 or +3 attack, +2 armor, and then I get a fusion core, and then 3 orbitals. So I feel ahead in this game, and I decide I'm gonna secure my lead by getting Raven Energy, so I can mass Raven, getting a fusion core so I can battle cruisers, and then 3 more orbitals so I can get more minerals, so I can produce more SCV, so I can take more base, 3 more command centers, so I can take more bases. So I see him pushing here, and I get into a siege position, and I pull back a little bit. I don't want to engage him when I'm not sieged. You never know how good the storms are going to be, and siege tanks are kind of like, well, they sit down for storms, so, you know, that's not the best thing. Siege tanks are pretty easy to storm if there's a lot of army around not attacking the High Templar, but you should probably always focus down the High Templar. And now I'm creating a bit of a wall in between my bases. This makes me gain a little bit more ground, and makes it easier to send reinforcements to my 4th and my 3rd. By having these planetaries up here, it helps reduce run-bys, it helps, you know, it just helps to reduce the possibility of a huge attack, because, or even a small attack, because planetary fortresses with 2 armor can handle quite a bit, and then my reinforcements are going to be always behind there, so that's going to be a key thing for me. I get another 2 factories. This is because I'm getting quite a bank. So now, once you're this part of the game and you have a bank, the rule of 2 per gas doesn't quite exist as much. You wanna know, I need enough of a bank to remake an army. How much is that? And here comes the war prison play. You go, okay, well, to remake a huge army, I can I'm just kind of messing with him here, but I can make a few ravens, get a few halbats. You know, I probably got about 50-75 supply worth of army in the minerals that I have now, and it's only rising. So to be able to remax quicker, I'm able to just throw these down, and this helps me fight the Protoss remax, and then I spend some extra money on orbitals, so I can, you know, drop a base, drop a bunch of orbitals, replace my SUVs with mules, and that gives me an even bigger army. If you look at the units lost, he's lost twice as much as me. So, I mean, I've lost twice as much of him, which is bad, but I've traded a lot for workers, and even though he's closed that gap, if you look at what he has, he's now establishing his 4th. You know, he's got quite a bit of defense, but if you compare it to my base, I have so much more potential for income. Like, I haven't dropped mules right now, but once I do, it'll just be a huge income increase. And I decided to attack here, and I'm sieged up pretty early, but he's still able to catch me a little bit out of position. So what I wanted, was 1, I wanted to free up supply for battlecruisers. 2, I wanted to establish another base, so I'm getting ready to do that right here. 3, I wanted to further secure my lead by attacking his army. I was planning on winning the battle, but I didn't, which is a problem. I underestimated the amount of colossi I had, but I was planning on winning the army. But if you know, and then once I would have done that, I could have retreated and like double expanded, and that was my goal. But if you look now, I did lose the fight, but I'm ahead in supply, and this is because I used a big portion of my bank to make like a lot of Hellbats, Thors, battlecruisers, Vikings. And you can see I'm still building command centers. So now he has a bigger bank than I do, and he drops down 5 Stargates because he's thinking he's going to go for an air tech switch. And just, if you look at my income right now, it's a little bit higher than his, because I have a few mules up. You know, I don't have quite as well of a spread as he does, I believe. He's got 16 here, 14 here, so he's got a little bit higher than me. It's kind of even, but now with these mules really kicking into gear, you can see that I'll jump to, like, once they hit, I'll jump up pretty high. See, just take a look. And then in between that, it's really even. I'm making these 2 planetary fortresses. And this is to help against attacks. It takes a lot longer to kill the space. I really need the gas, not the minerals as much. Although now I am low on minerals. Normally I am not. And I can reinforce this without being worried, because I have these 2 planetaries over here. This is blocked by rocks. And I have a planetary here, so no run-throughs, you know, anywhere in the direction where I could have trouble. And he attacking over here, I believe he snipes the SUVs, so let's take a look. He sniped a few SUVs, but then he decided to pull back once he saw my army. So now I have less of a supply than him, but my income is still higher, or it was. You know, I'm just waiting for the mules to come back from the mineral patches to the command center. So yeah. just kind of building back my army. I'm taking highly into battle cruisers and throwing in a few Vikings, because once he sees battle cruisers, he's most likely going to go Stargate. Vikings are pretty good against Stargate, and I also get Blue Flame and Transformation, so I can do Hellion run-throughs. I have a pretty big income, so I can pretty much spend it on what I want right now, but I do have to be a little careful, more careful than what I'm being. Like, I'm dropping another command center, and I'm taking it quite heavily, but I'm not ahead in bases. He's actually ahead in bases because he's not dropping the one on the bottom left, and he's got more of a bank than me. I don't know that, but I thought I was more ahead than I actually was.
Upgrade complete.
I scout at this, and I decided that I need to attack him. So he still has a lot of Colossi, and I will be attacking him in just a moment. But the Colossi, well, they don't shoot up for one, but I do have a lot of Hellbats, and Colossi are okay against Thors. You know, they can actually out-micro Thors. And I drop down even more command centers because I want to grow my army even more and increase my income even further. You can see that I almost have 1,000 more income than him because of all these meals. So it actually, you know, and I have a bigger army because I have like 17 less workers than him. So if you go to active forces, I have a lot more money and a little bit more gas invested in my army. And I see him attacking up here, and he's attacking over here to deny this base, but I was gonna attack the bottom left to retaliate, but I decided, you know what, I'm gonna change my mind. And here he decides to retreat, but he kind of crosses over my army a little bit, so he loses a few units, and I throw down some hunter missiles. I believe these fizz out. No, they actually do launch. So he takes quite a bit of damage for no reason. Just because he was out of position, which definitely works for me. I'm also getting air upgrades, point defense, drone energy, timeout, you know, so that they last longer, and then cloak for my banshees. I don't really see too many observers out on the field, and banshees could really surprise him in the later stages of the game. And also, if it comes down to a close game, cloak banshee could be really useful if he has no detection to take out like key workers. So I make some more Hellions for run-throughs, and another Thor. I try to snipe this base and clear up the pylons from the top base, so I can expand there very soon without worrying about harassing. He comes in here, and I try to launch Yamato, but he does feedback me a little bit. And I'm trying to engage his army now, and he's got a lot of Void Rays, but I killed a few with my Yamato, and I have a lot of battlecruisers and Vikings and Thors, so I have a lot of anti-air against him. I dropped my mules, but this wasn't manner, this was to actually repair my army. You can see that they're going to repair, so it wasn't like BM intended. I wanted to make sure I was going to win right here, so I really wanted to repair my army. Setting right on top of his Stargates, he's not able to make more units that can really take me down, because he needs an air army to battle this army, and I put 2 more planetary fortresses up there so that I don't have to worry about expansions and a lot of missile turrets. So I'm always preparing, you know, right now, just in case I lose this army, that I'm ready. So ready for a counterattack. So dropping another 2 command centers, maybe, you know, they're going to be planetary fortresses on the left base. I'm attacking the left base with Hellbats and a Thor, kind of clearing that out a little bit. I'm scanning to see if he has any like backed up army, if there's anything more I should be afraid of, but there wasn't. So this was against AriA, and I got a pretty nice lead, and this player did pretty good at trying to come back into this game, and I kind of let him by playing a little bit too defensive, but this was a fun game to play. So thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you enjoyed this. Be sure to tune in for more videos, and subscribe and follow all the videos. They support me directly. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys.